Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Knothole Gang. We're on top of the Making Friends parking structure, looking at the backside of Galaxy's Edge, and we've actually got a new thing to a new thing to view this week back here. It's not very often that we get anything to look at because this is just generally maintenance area or backstage. But there is that one opening into the Battle Escape show building. And we get to see some steel. Guys are working on the interiors. That's some steel being put together inside the showroom. And you can see a lot of wood and stuff in there too. There's active building, active construction going on. Also, apparently, this project is now pressurized. Now, I don't know what exactly that means. There are little pictures of water drops, so I assume that means water pressure. So there's that. I guess correct me if I'm wrong, but that's my assumption, is that there's now water pressure in the site, which means they're getting, they're getting on inside. There's a whole world of things happening in there, and that kind of blows my mind a little bit. Here's the just another look at these trees that they're putting here. Nothing to report here. Otherwise, I'm just gonna watch here until they take that blue tarp down. The general consensus is that tarp is there to protect the trees because they're probably applying some sort of, coat to the rock work in front of it. And they want to protect the trees, which makes sense. All right, top of the Battle Escape building, and we are going to make a couple of pit stops here because I keep talking about doing this because it's kind of fun to compare things from like a month ago, which is what we'll do. But there's been a fair amount of progress in here, although not so much easily visible to the naked eye. But we'll stop here and compare this. That's 4 weeks ago, and while it doesn't look like a lot has happened, you can see the layers are about the same as they were. In fact, even like the areas where the mesh is pretty much stalled, it looks like. But for some reason, but they have taken down some scaffolding in the current picture, and you can see that. That means that well, at least they're done-ish, maybe, in that area? I don't know. Let's continue. And there's that rogue piece of steel over there on the left, but we're not going to look at that yet because I want to look at that guy right there. Cool, huh? Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, mesh work here is about the same as it has been the last couple of weeks. I mean, the construction is coming along, but I tried to do a comparison, right? I was going to do a comparison of this from last month, but it's about the same. So we'll head over to the Millennium Falcon side, get another look at things. It's a little, my goodness, David, get a grip on that camera. And again, there's that 2 pieces of rogue steel. I feel like maybe there's more that I'm not catching with my eyes right now, but there's that tall piece and then the smaller piece to the right. I don't know. I'm looking forward. I still cannot see that from the river. I was going to look for that from the river, but I can't see it. Now let's take a look at this from 4 weeks ago. It's the I don't know, Star Wars-y structure. 4 weeks ago, it wasn't quite as far along. But the one thing that you will notice is that to the right they have built another peak. Mesh has been applied to that steel framework to its right, well, our right anyway, as you look at it. But otherwise, it looks like they're just kind of finishing that Star Wars structure. And we'll pan across the backside of Battle Escape from the far left of the building. And back to the Rivers of America, where I'm going to hope to do a little before and after of this section that we haven't been able to pay attention to of late because we've been focused so much on those Star Wars structures. But we will stop here to see how this compares to a month ago. And here you go. There's a month ago, and it looks about the same. I mean, it was a much sunnier day that day, so it's hard to tell exactly because there's a lot of shine on there if they've done much to the exteriors, but it looks about the same to me. There has been you can see some color changes in the texture of the rock there, but for the most part, it's about where it was, which is surprising. I was expecting more progress there. I'm going to take a quick look at that hall structure again, because it keeps looking to me like they're further along on this than they were before. But really, how far could they be?
They have grown or put something on top of it. But that doesn't sound right, because the model doesn't show anything like that.
The cascading waterfalls, the moose, deer, and elk along the banks. It's all so magnificent, so peaceful.
Look at all that steel down there. You see that? There's a whole bunch of new steel. They have appended the highest point that we've seen before. If we go back to a month ago again, a lot of that steel that we can see now, we couldn't see before. All the steel was below the rock line, but you can see now in today's image, there's a lot of steel above the rock line from the Rivers of America side of this view. So I thought you'd think they're done going vertical there, but they got more to go there. Pretty fascinating. Also, take a look at this. There's the peak on the left has started getting mesh where it did before. To this day, we are literally 2.5 years into this, and I still get impressed with, hey, look, a new peak. I mean, how many peaks are there that we're tracking progress on now? But anyway, there you go. That one's got mesh. And pretty soon it'll have a texture coat, and it'll blend in with the rest of the Star Wars land. Does anybody know why they're yellow? I'm curious. Just idle curiosity. Why some of that steel is, what is it, coated, painted yellow? I don't know. Why are we seeing a lot of yellow? Well, we've never really seen yellow before. Here's a closer look. Maybe that's not steel. I'm not sure. And there's that thing. Oh, I want to stop here. I noticed this, and I was asking Ian, but he couldn't really speak to it. Because, I mean, our view was such that we couldn't really make it out with the naked eye, but I can zoom in now. It looks like that structure that we've been watching has been intentionally, well, I don't want to use the word aged, but that's something that they do with Brock and other, practical effects, practical, parts of the setting. But it looks like this one's been aged as though it's been around a while, it's been used, and those look like somebody, there was a fire inside there once, and you can see like a burning around those, the cutouts, the I don't know which, not windows, but I would assume that that's some sort of observation area. I don't know, but is that intentionally made to look like it's been burnt out like that? It seems like that's the case, right? And you can see similar aging along the seams of the structure. Normally, if this were a new, pristine structure, they wouldn't have that aged-looking seam there, which I think is really neat. I'm looking forward to seeing how that turns out. Let's continue.
I like this. Did you see that effect on that one? The structure, it's like it's been burnt out. Like there was, I don't know if that's intentional, but that's what it looks like to me. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We've never seen that steel before.
That looks new too, right there. Those mesh application on steel. Look at that. All kinds of new vertical construction going on there. They've raised the bar. They've raised the top of that line a little bit. While we're just sort of watching this happen, I also shot some 360 video of this scene, but I'm not going to include it today at all because it turns out it was kind of a terrible idea. I wanted to try it anyway, but oh, look at that. You can see that pyramid structure has gotten a roof, and it looks more dome-ish than it did before. Because we were expecting it not to be a pyramid in the end, but more like a dome. But yeah, the 360 video doesn't work here. I mean, you would think it would be great. Maybe if I were on top of the train, it might look good, but we're too far away, guys. I'm zoomed in on so much of this, and you can't zoom the 360 camera. So it was pretty pointless. It was a great view of the river, but not of Star Wars Land. Here again, the hull structure caught my eye, looking like some kind of progress has been made there. It's more obvious, it's more visible than it used to be. Maybe it's just the white, I'm not sure, but it was looking way more obvious to me than it ever has. You know, that there's something down there. But again, I think I will do a 360 video just from the Mark Twain in general, to get a feeling, to get a 360 view of the river and of Adventureland, or I mean of Frontierland and Critter Country, etc. And if we happen to catch some views of Star Wars Land, that's great too. But you can't zoom. Another long look here. This has not progressed hardly at all in the last month or so. Wow. Well, there you go, Fresh Baked. That'll do it for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week with another update from Galaxy's Edge. Thanks, guys. Fresh Baked. We've got lots more videos for you to see, so grab a churro and check out some of our other videos and have your mind blown by how much fun we're having. We truly are the best of Disney Bake Fresh Daily. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you next time. Fresh Baked!